Howdy, welcome to Practical Principles. This is Practical Prince. We've got a busy day today. Monday did not happen like it was supposed to, so we've got a few questions from there, and we'll go ahead and start with this one. Of course, and as always, go ahead and drop your comments and questions in, and we'll get to those. But I owe it to these people who dropped by to get them answers. So, how will I do on my Saturday's test? Using the Prisma Vision stick for this one. And it's kind of open-ended. So we'll see how many cards we get. We've got three so far. Is there another one in here? Can be a little tricky trying to sense what's relevant. There we go. Okay, well, we got 4 cards for this, even though this might not be that complicated. But we'll go ahead and flip and read those. I'll just do them in the order. So, Justice tends to have a karmic effect to it. 10 of Wands, I'll have to double check on that. Tiny Elephants, that one's specific to this deck. That's the question mark. It doesn't really have its place. 2 of Pentacles, ups and downs usually. But that's what we've got there. So let me go ahead and set this down and grab the booklet so we can read. Or not booklet, but the book. We'll go through them all. I mean, so far I'm seeing a lot of balance, so I don't know if that's necessarily you're due for a particular score, or if it's just what you put in is what you get out. That would be my first impression, but let's see if there's more nuance. Cause and effect, balance, accountability, referring to the Justice card. This card is a reminder that justice is coming. You can only get away with unscrupulous behavior for so long. Eventually your motives will be found out, and there will be swift retribution to follow. But do not fear. Being held accountable for your actions is how balance will be restored to the universe. It's time to give back. So, I mean, it's reap what you sow. Nothing odd about that. 10 of Wands. Burden, responsibility, commitment. After a harrowing journey fraught with danger and conflict, you've accomplished what you set out for. But take caution from the furrowed brow of our hero. His hard work has not brought him more happiness, merely more labor. This is the downside of leadership. When you have proven your mettle, you are given freer rein and greater responsibilities. You may be overburdened, eager to shed the weight. Will you carry on in your endeavor, or yield control of it to others? Which is best for you? So yeah, it sounds like you could be the one leading out on the scoreboard as far as like the test scores go, but nothing too crazy going on there. It also talks about what happens when you don't. So let's find our question mark. Tiny elephants. Here we go. Perspective, renewed wonder, inverted expectations. When you pull tiny elephants in a reading, it asks you to acknowledge the perspective of your situation. Pay attention to the things around you. If your perspective feels like it has grown tired, then get on the floor, stand on a chair, find a new way of looking. You'll be surprised how fresh something old can feel when you look at it differently. There is wonder in small things, and there is beauty in understanding another's point of view. So, I mean, that one's, as far as applying it here, that one seems hard to place. I mean, it's almost like what you're expecting might not be what you get. So if you're, yeah, I don't know. If you think you've studied enough and you want to coast, then I think this would be suggesting you shouldn't. If you think you can't study enough for this, odds are it's saying you have. It's kind of like, I mean, it's not justice per se, but yeah, it has the same sort of balancing theme to it. Let's go to Two of Pentacles. Oh, hey, Rada. Doing well. Yes, you can ask. I had technical difficulties Monday, so I'm doing readings for those people, but yes. I've got this one more, and then I can do yours. And it's all good. Well, and it was more than technical difficulties. We had to cancel, basically. And that's fine. Excellent. So Two of Pentacles, balancing work, productive priorities. Life's imbalance is its greatest strength. To the man that masters the back and forth motion, the perpetual movement propels him into a steady, productive rhythm. Keep it all together by not paying too much attention to one thing. Accept that everything has its time and its place, and is up to you to decide when it's time to move onwards. Yeah, I mean, a lot of this, I don't know if you saw the video for the reading, but a lot of these cards just have a balance, somewhat of a karmic effect. So you reap what you sow feeling. Ten of Wands suggests you could be leading out, but I mean, it also had that option of falling back into the crowd. So a lot of these are up to you. And this was for 10 Clover Topaz Kiddo, 45. I'm worried if somebody's ever going to have an inappropriate name. Okay, our second question from Monday, and the last one. What's coming next for me and my person for rest of July and August? Let me shuffle this real fast before I put it away. For this, we'll switch to the Destiny deck. I find Destiny, I mean, it's good for future, but also just the color scheme and whatnot. I like to use it for romance-related things. Yeah. So let me switch this, because it has its mat. Okay. What's coming next for me and my person for rest of July and August? I don't need to shuffle. Okay. And this was from Kanupriya. Those seem related. Now onto the other part of the deck. Oh, hey. So yeah, I'm answering your question. So figuring that out. Yeah, and I'm going through picking the cards now. I'll show you when we go to flip. Yeah, it just takes me time going through the cards, figuring out which ones are the ones involved in this. So, well, technology helps out. So, I mean, if I had to do it off of memory, I would have got the gist of it and the gist of your name, but I definitely would have had a typo or misspelling. So, let's see. I'm not particularly strong there. Do you have something? Or was that it? Huh. Okay, let me... I think this was a tempered pair, but... No, they go together, and... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's tempered, and this is really simple, or at least as far as number of cards goes. So we've got the primary card, and then the tempered card, so a secondary card that, well, tempers it. That's why I use that term. So we've got Six of Swords, Move On, and New Beginning are the things there. Tempered by the Devil. And the notes there are Temptation and Enslavement. I'll spread those a bit so you can see. Six of Swords, if I remember, well, I do. I mean, Move On is the strong theme coming from that one. That's the message of the Six of Swords. So that's the strong thing there. Let me check the Devil so that we get that one right, because I'm thinking that might be the reason why you have the Six of Swords. So let me set this down. And then this deck has a digital guide. So let me, oh no, it is big. Okay. The Devil card The Devil card carries with it heavy feelings of oppression and lack of power. When this card shows up, you may feel like you have no control in a certain situation. The Devil has convinced you that you have no options. This is a card of greed, codependence, temptation, and materialism. The The devil is also associated with addiction, with sex, food, substances, and negative thinking patterns. Yet this negativity does not reflect the truth. You are not being trapped by external forces. It is your own limitation that is keeping you imprisoned. You hold the keys to your own freedom, but it is up to you to release yourself of the shackles. So yeah. Basically, no. So everything we're getting from this reading, Six of Swords is saying move on. The devil, which I think is the reason why you're basically holding yourself back with this person. So no, I'm not expecting a reconciliation. You mentioned no contact. I would imagine that to persist, and the longer you cling on to this hope, hold on to that, the more this will just eat at your life, and basically waste your time, and in a sense, waste away yourself. So, so yeah, Six of Swords. The advice: move on. It's very strong on that message, and I guess I can pull that up too. But I have done enough tarot at this point that I'm pretty sure I know what I'm talking about. Quiet passage from a situation or relationship following a certain hardship, enjoying a period of peace. Perhaps you must take a moment of rest from a relationship or responsibilities. This moment of rest and recharge may lead you to explore a new environment or perhaps take you to a new spiritual direction. When this card shows up in a reading, it can be a sign that things are getting better and calmer moments lie ahead. This card can also signify a physical journey you are about to embark upon. You are transitioning to a better place so that you may find yourself again. So yeah, that's not as strong. Other guides have basically said, move on. That's the message. This one's more optimistic about the new stuff, and I emphasized that as I was reading. But yeah, you're going somewhere else. Okay, no problem. Okay, let me catch up. So Rada, what was your question? Mawish Wingman. Hey. Rada was here first, so we'll be answering her question. But I don't think you've asked it yet, if I'm right. So, okay, there you are. Yeah, go ahead and drop your question in. Sorry, I'm getting close to the camera there. I'll clean up and get ready. And I guess I'll switch my caption when we get there we go. And then I'll just highlight yours when it comes in. Clean up. Clarify what you mean by past or future energies. I'm not sure I understand that. Okay. Um, I'll just highlight that since that's more clear then. I mean, this is specifically about love, so I'm still inclined to use the Destiny deck. I think we've used Cosma a lot for your angel messages. So let's see. Where is your card? There might just be one. I mean, the Six of Swords would be the clear move on. But... Okay. Well, that's fine. I know your question, so. We've got one card so far. Welcome to the unexciting portion of the segment where the tarot reader is trying to sense what cards are relevant silently. Well, we only got one card, so this will probably be very straightforward. Well, hopefully very straightforward. We got Three of Pentacles, the Architect, Success. So let me go ahead and switch to our guide. The energy of the Three of Pentacles is one of creativity, artistry, and collaboration. This card shows up when you are ready to let your talent shine in public. It often appears when you are ready to launch a business, communicate to a large group, or take an idea and materialize it into form. This card is often called the Architect, which means that you create a lasting project that will withstand the test of time. Perhaps it feels daunting at first, but you will rise above the attention as this is transitory. You must have the confidence to know that the magic of your work inspires greatness, especially when you master the art of taking ideas and grounding them into form. So that's interesting. I don't think that's necessarily past or future. It's not necessarily move on. It's focus on building it. So, like the relationship you want, disconnected from whoever that other partner is. Understand that. And then work to build that foundation, either improving yourself or trying to encourage that in people. I mean, I know you have a past person, in a sense. But yeah, it's making that vision of that future reality. And don't key in too much to one person. You've got your part to play, they'll have theirs. The parts you can influence, can control, focus on those. I mean, I can do another reading, but I mean, as far as the question you asked, that's what we got on that. And like I went through the cards, so I don't think they've got more to say on that front. Okay. Hey, Lavina. I've got 2 more people, and I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But so there's 2 other people with questions. So I'm going to do them first, assuming Wingman has a question. He might just be hanging out. Okay. So yeah, Rada, whenever you formulate the new question, drop that in so that I can slot that in. Hey, Lewis. But let's go back. We've got this question from Mawish. Will Daniel contact me? His current feelings for me. Kind of 2 different questions. Yeah, we'll still use Destiny. Let's see. Will he contact? His current feelings for me. Yeah, I was tempted to combine these into one, but they are 2 questions. Okay. So we've got our yes, no, will he contact? But then the current feelings. Let me set these aside. I think we have our cards. Oh, sorry. Let me make sense of them. So we've got our yes, no. we've got a spread for that. I'll show you that when we do it. This one, for the second question, we got 2 cards. I think these are equals. They overlap, but they're equals. Okay. Gotcha, Rada. Oh. We do want to show. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, this is our yes-no spread. And then these 2 are current feelings for me. And these are equals. So we'll just flip these. So 2 separate things. We've got 10 of Swords, 3 of Pentacles, and then Ace of Swords. And then down here we've got Page of Cups and the Hanged Man. Sounds dark, but that's not so bad. That's usually just a change in perspective. But we'll read up on those. Let me go ahead and set this down, pull up our guide, and get to our yes-no spread. There it is. So 10 of Swords was a no card. That was expected. I've done that one enough. 3 of Pentacles seems to be a yes. So then Ace of Swords. Let me just double check. Okay, that seems to be a yes as well. So this would fall in the 2 yes with a no or neutral, which means yes, but will probably take time. So don't expect it soon, but it'll happen. And so now these for his feelings. Let's get on those. Just from the keywords on the Ace of Pentacles, we've got right path and love. And then on the Hanged Man, we've got enlighten and surrender. Could be he thinks you're right. He loves you. But he's struggling with choosing that path probably. So Page of Cups is a messenger. The page brings a message about the emotional aspects of your life, such as love or happy news about relationships, children, finances. When this card shows up, it could also indicate that something new is about to begin. It is a reminder to feel young at heart. Perhaps love is on the horizon. Page of Cups can also be an individual who is artistic, a dreamer, and intuitive. Perhaps a good friend may soon introduce you to some other friends in their circle. Allow your intuition to guide you toward the most appropriate meaning behind this card so that the message it brings with it comes forward in the most meaningful way. So yeah, I think it's positive feelings towards you. Seems affirmative from what I got. And then we'll just go over the Hanged Man. But this is probably struggling with a change in perspective. So, appears when you are in a period of suspension. This card tells you that small sacrifices may have to be made in order to benefit the big picture. Begin to make a move in a direction by letting go of an outcome that may not serve you. If something is not working out, release your grip and detach from the situation. This card may appear frequently when a person is feeling frustrated with their progress or lack of progress. The message is that your circumstance needs time to evolve. Whether this is a situation that involves your home, your relationship, or your finances, the Hanged Man asks us to take a step back, and perhaps the universe has its own plan. So yeah, it very much sounds like he needs some time to get in the right mindset, basically, change his perspective, which makes sense with what we got for your will he contact. Yes, but may take some time. It sounds like we're really waiting on him to figure things out to a certain extent. Because with the hangman, there's that letting go aspect. So if they're struggling with that, well, it'll take time. And it's natural for people to struggle with letting go of what's familiar and useful to them. Because at least it was useful for a while in their life. Okay. Wingman, I believe you're up. Do you have a question, or are we just hanging out, I guess? And I'll go ahead. I shouldn't have put the deck away. I need to clean this up. Just hanging out. Okay. So that means I think Lavina, and then we have Rada. Okay. Awesome. How to resolve understanding issues that land up in arguments between Ankit Jain and me. Further, would his parents agree for marriage, or we have to go ahead for marriage without their agreement? Okay. Great. I mean, if I had questions, I would ask you to clarify. I feel like I understand this one. And so obviously, people can come and go and just view the video later if they need to. While this is a relationship one, I feel like this is more of a Prisma question. So we're going to switch over to that mat in the deck. Right. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know how much you know about language, but it naturally evolves over time and some stuff changes. What you might think is fixed here, he might have more fluid meanings. So it could be part of that. I mean, we'll still read. I'm just thinking. But I guess basically what you take for granted with definitions, possibly, he might not. So, I shuffled this deck, but now I think we need a little more. Let me, because I want to give this some focus, and I think we've got two spreads Because the parents is definitely a separate thing. And both of these could end up being big. So I'm going through something called, this deck is called Spread Machine, and it's not a tarot deck. It's made for, is it further up? Here we go. Okay. It's made for formulating spreads, and being specific there. Okay. And then let me find the relevant ones. It's sort of like it's sort of like tarot, but I'm still going through and sensing which ones are relevant. I mean, Wingman, you can talk. Sorry, I'm just catching up on what Lavina has written. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So I've got the layout basically. Where did it? Oh, there's the box, I should say. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 8 spots in this spread. We probably won't use all of them. Sorry, I think I might be rushing a bit, which sadly means I probably need to talk less and focus more. Do, do, do. And this person. Let me go ahead and set this aside. Sorry, just making sure we got all the cards. And I think we did. Okay, so got 6, a tempered pair, 8 spots. Let me figure out where they go. Okay, and then this pair. Who was the primary? Are you equals? No. Okay. And let me make room. improve readability. Okay. Yeah. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look. There it is. Okay. So, oh, there goes the phone. Sorry, for some reason it just reloads every now and then. So I don't know if like their website just can't handle being live after so long. Or maybe it's the continual use of the video heating it up and it decides, oh, then I think it would shut down the phone. So I'm inclined to think it's something in their software and it's just leaking memory or something. But I guess I can describe. So we pulled out the focus area and it lists 3 keywords: connection, relationship, love, because that's central to the problem being solved. That's the theme of the relationship and the problem, I suppose. I didn't expect to get a card for that, but we did. As we built this out, responsibility ended up being more central. That one also got a card. Next to responsibility is compromise. That got a tempered pair, but the interesting thing was connecting those was accept, which did not get a card. So, and oh, can we see now? Oh, let's make you bigger. Okay. All right. So yeah, there's the connection, relationship, love. Here's the, here's the accept card. That doesn't have one. So this one is for responsibility. This one is for sabotage. And I think the rest you can figure out. Purge, that one. Problematic behavior has its card. Confront. Compromise has a tempered pair. And then accept doesn't have one. But I think we've got all the information we need here. We've got 6 of chalices on responsibility, judgment on sabotage. We've got the Emperor on purge. We've got 10 of chalices on the connection, relationship, love. We've got King of Swords on problematic behavior, 3 of Wands on confront, and then primarily 8 of Pentacles tempered by the Tower. So that'll be fun. And and there we go. 3 of Wands, and then 8 of Pentacles tempered by the Tower. Okay. Yeah, Rada, I will. So don't worry. We will get to it. Oh yeah. So now we'll set this down. And we'll pull out our little guidebook. As far as where to start, yeah, I think we'll just do it in that order, in that sort of spiral that we flipped them in. So we'll start with responsibility. And the notes on that card: what do you need to take responsibility for right now? What is something you need to own up to? What needs to be reclaimed? And the note there, and the card there is, wrong side, 6 of chalices. And so the notes there are renewal, revisiting past memories, vibrancy. The world can be harsh and unforgiving, and it's easy to let the sorrow and grime of daily living dull the vibrant shine of your existence. But the river that flows through the six of chalices offers a chance to buff it clean. Renew yourself. Break the cycles of suffering by pursuing the simple, innocent values of childhood. Share. Work together. Be kind to others. Immerse yourself. Forget your cares and rejuvenate. So the responsibility we're getting there is renew yourself, basically. And sort of, we don't want you to be childish, but there are some childlike values. So sharing, working together, being kind. It's wanting you to get back in touch with that, which, I think that'll be fine. Yeah, you're capable of doing that. Let's get to the judgment, and that was on sabotage. In what ways have you been sabotaging yourself and stopping yourself from achieving success and greatness? And while laying this, I think this might be for your partner more so than you. So decisions, transitions, endings. The swirling mist beckons you in. Of course, crossing the threshold into the unknown will be daunting. The end of a journey can always be sad, but it is time to make matter-of-fact decisions and decide if where you are now is worth stagnating in the face of resplendent rejuvenation. So yeah, in a sense, it kind of seems like they're stalling. Taking the next step might be daunting for them. So you might need to have a sit-down conversation with them about that. But yeah, because that's something they'll need to work through. You need a willing partner after all. Hey, Novella. Sorry, I can't tell if it's an I or L, even with glasses. Doing readings, go ahead and drop your question in. It'll be a while, but if you need to go, it'll be on the video once it's done. Or you can come back and we'll see. So our next card was Purge. To destroy, to cleanse, to renew, to eradicate and transform. And I'll note that this was on the connection. Hey, Tamanda. This was on the connection, relationship, love card. So I assume it has something to do with that aspect. And we've got the Emperor, which has authority, control. Oh, sorry, number 4. If I remember right, let me double check. Power, focused growth, influential. I wonder if this guy just does it differently. When you exude the Emperor's energy, you might naturally fall into a position of power. Take care to use your increased influence for good. Try not to become superior to those around you, but rather foster them in a way that allows for growth. By building others up, you improve the quality of life for your community as a whole. So it sounds like, I don't know what the power dynamics are in your relationship, but it would seem like you need to focus on sort of being that benevolent ruler sort of person. Be careful not to be the tyrant is really the warning that comes with that. Use your influence for good. So, yeah. So I guess just check your influence on the relationship itself. And that might take a moment of reflection. Let's go to connection, relationship, love. We got the 10 of chalices for that. And chalices tends to be the suit of emotions. So this will be good. Bliss, harmony, alignment with others. The 10 of chalices reminds us that life can be a simple, unadulterated pleasure. Supported by family, our beliefs, our traditions, and our values, we can live in calm unity with each other. Our emotions link us to the supple lifeblood of the universe. Love connects us all. Life connects us all. we are one. So I don't think there's a lesson to be learned there. It almost just touches on, well, the harmony. I mean, it might be the relationship. Obviously, you're asking about some conflict in it right now. But yeah, I mean, the connection there is bliss. And I realize you guys are working out the kinks, but I mean, it sounds like you've got a good base. So let's go on to problematic behavior. What are the toxic behaviors from you or from others that are present in your life right now? What needs to be acknowledged and dealt with? For this, we got King of Swords. Jump too far. Clarity of purpose, realistic expectation, ingenuity. It takes a great man not just to fight evil, but to subsume it, divert it, and use it for good. That's partly referring to the picture. So, such an immense task calls for impeccable character and keen clarity of purpose. Realism and ingenuity are your greatest weapons when faced with a mighty foe. Do not let good sense become clouded with emotions. Face the facts with cold stoicism and find the best way to proceed. The answer may be simpler than you think. What are the toxic behaviors from you or from others that are present in your life right now? What needs to be acknowledged and dealt with? Clarity of purpose. Sorry, just checking how this is applying. Yes. Is that referring to him? But we're also getting that from you. Okay. So it seems like, gosh, the clarity that you guys have in your own stances and sticking with that and building on your own foundation is, in a sense, the problem. Not that either of you is doing something wrong, but as far as the relationship goes, you're not building something together, which is what you should be striving for. So, how we address that? Well, let's move on to the confront card. It says to address your challenges and problems, to stand firm in the face of conflict, to face your fears or enemy. And for that, we got 3 of Wands. This would be earlier. Sustained growth, foresight, progress. After the initial whoosh of intensity, thoughtful maintenance is required to keep a fire burning. Painstaking placement of the kindling will nurture the flames into longevity, referring to the picture. It's a woman working on a fire. So too must an incipient vision be fed and sustained. Your idea is starting to catch. Don't rage into a blaze or douse yourself unnecessarily with doubt or dismay. Small victories and careful progress suggest you are succeeding. So, where this is touching on problematic behavior, I think that's the rage or blaze or douse yourself. That might, well, put out the fire. And so, yeah, really it's that painstaking placement to nurture the flames into longevity. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be hard work. But it is what you want, especially with that 10 of chalices. Long term, once you've got that good fire going, it'll be well worth sitting by. Okay, let's move on to compromise. This was Eight of Pentacles tempered by the Tower. Blooming success, meaningful growth, skilled. After the first few harrowing weeks when a project is still touch and go, it is a real pleasure to see measurable success blooming before your eyes. Take delight in what you have achieved. Steadily cultivate what you have already established so it continues to grow in meaningful ways. Pay attention to detail. Fortune has little influence at this point. Rather, your dedication and finesse will guarantee the success of your undertaking. And then, tempered by the Tower, I don't think we need to read it, but it deals with upheaval, basically bad foundations giving out. Hey, Enchantress. Which isn't a bad thing, obviously. Having built on bad foundations, it's better that you find that out and have the opportunity to replace it and fix it, prove it. So where that's the tempering influence here, it's probably that you're going to have those moments of seeming collapse. But really, you've already got a good thing going, is what the Eight of Pentacles says, and you're going to be steadily cultivating it so that it continues into that bliss you got at that Ten of Chalices. So yeah. I feel like a lot of this, I mean, you describe the problem. We've gone through all the cards at this point, so let me know if you've got questions, but it almost seems like a fair amount of this is stepping back from that problem and focusing on the relationship itself and maintaining that, improving that. So I don't know, maybe you need a meta talk, so to speak, with them about it. Obviously, that's not immune from the problem itself, but the problem you were describing at least. But yeah. Okay. Yes. So Enchantress, there's a handful of people before you, but yeah, I'll get to that before we finish the stream today. Okay. Excellent, Lavina. Just wanted to make sure that we were good on that. I'll go ahead and start putting, well, let me figure out who was next. Lavina. So now we're to Radha's question, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Oh, you're totally right. Thank you for catching me. I would have felt so bad for skipping that. Okay. So the second, his parents agree for marriage, or we have to go ahead for marriage without their consent. Which deck are we using? I mean, we could do either. Do you have a preference for the Prisma versus the Destiny? Because either of those seem to be fine for this one. And I'll just sort these and put them back in their deck. You guys go together. Focus area. Shadow work. Boundary. Expansion. Okay. Well, like I said, I don't think both decks are adequate for this question. So where I'm not feeling particularly inspired. I don't need to hide the faces for this. I think I'll just use Prisma since we've already got that set up out. Yeah. Okay. Set that aside. Prisma. Okay. Does parents agree for marriage? I mean, it's sort of a yes/no, but I think we're basically just taking a look at the parents. I mean, obviously, it's focused or skewed towards this context of the marriage. I need that one. Okay. Yeah. That's relevant. I think. Is there a third? So let's see. Sorry, I got 4 cards, but 2 were a pair. Just trying to figure out if they're tempered like the other one or if these are equals. I think they're equals. Yeah, that seems right. Okay. So even though it's still staggered, that's a duo, that's a pair. So I don't know which is which, but these represent the parents. And then this, well, it's their feelings, their intentions, basically their attitude towards you guys as a couple getting married. So one is Ace of Pentacles, one is Ace of Wands, and then we've got the Star and 6 of Pentacles. Star deals with hope, so far pretty positive there. But we'll go through and get the feel for them. So we'll start with those aces. Ace of Pentacles. Material reward, new adventure, abundance. When you see a tantalizing opportunity, take it. This card promises great material reward for projects undertaken, particularly if there's something novel or unexplored. Though you may not be able to see over the wall and divine what you are truly choosing, dare to take the road less traveled. You may find that it pays off in the long run. Rise up to the challenge and begin your new adventure. So basically, enthusiastic. They're sort of excited by possibilities, what can be. So, kind of a happy energy there. That's the impression I'm getting. Let's go to the Ace of Wands. New opportunity, strong energy, inspiration. When you receive this card, you have struck upon a vein of potent energy. If you choose to manifest it, you will be propelled into some grand adventure, wrought with passion and despair. Much will be required of you: creativity, compassion, and steady discipline. But if you truly believe in your dream, fight for it until the end. Capitalize on this heady excitement. Pursue without fear or hesitation any idea that seems promising. Above all, believe in yourself and your potential. I think potential is sort of the key word there. I mean, there's obviously some synergy with the Ace of Wands as far as that heady excitement, creative and compassion, mostly the creative there. So it makes sense that they're together, not just aces, pair of aces. I just don't know if they would have manifested if they've got their adventure they're going on. So I'm not sure if that's obvious. But that potential, I'm guessing you would be able to pick on that, the strong energy that the keyword indicates. So let's go ahead and do the star. I already talked about that earlier, so we might just skim that one. Not the moon. Opportunity, hope, inspiration. The star is a beacon of hope. Though the night is dark and arduous, across the sky are scattered reminders that suns blaze perpetually, even if our own is hidden from sight. Believe the sun will rise, not as an empty sentiment, but an immutable law of nature. For now, let the subtle radiance light your way, splayed galaxies working in concert to guide you home. But yeah, so hope, inspiration, opportunity, very positive attitude. Let's get to the Six of Pentacles, which also seems promising. You've got that pair of people holding one. Okay. Excess, generosity, paying it forward. After many struggles and painful learning experiences, life has granted you the luxury of excess. When this happens, don't be greedy and keep the wealth to yourself. Give freely, never forgetting your own hard times that have brought you to this day. Alternatively, if you are in need of charity, don't be too proud to receive it. Often life will restore its equilibrium without your consent when you are least prepared. Therefore, if you find someone willing to tip the scale back in your favor, don't hesitate. You will pay back the debt in full when you're better off. So yeah, I mean, positive as far as what you were asking. Marriage. And they're agreeing. They've got that excess in the form of their child, in a sense, and give freely. Yeah. So, yeah, positive on that front. Okay. Yeah, let me go ahead and shuffle. And then, new messages. Okay. Okay. Hey, Sabrina. We've got a few people. Yes, they will agree. That's the impression I get from the Star and the Six of Pentacles. No problem. Glad I could help. and let me know if it pans out like the cards say. I don't have too many future readings, so it's nice if I can get confirmation. Okay, so on to Radha. Sabrina. I'll answer your question. There's just some people ahead of you. So it's understandable if you need to hop off or something like that. It'll be on the video at the very least. So we've got Radha. Sorry, I'm just double checking on who I need to follow up with. So after Ravada, we've got Enchantress. A few other people popped in. So Novelia, Tamanda, if you've got questions, by all means, go ahead, drop them in. But as far as what I can see in the chat, we've got Radha on screen. We've got Enchantress. And then Sabrina. I don't think I do enough readings that I'll be able to forget. Unless I get really busy in the future. So take care, Lavina. Radha, what spirit messages for my current situationship I have in my mind regarding Rish? Current feelings for me. We've got two things, huh? Are we using Prisma still? I think we're using Prisma for the Spirit's messages. And then current feelings, we'll probably do, yeah, Destiny. Okay. Two decks, but I think these might just be on the same spread. Oh, so right now I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, same time, but I am actively applying for jobs. So once that happens, I mean, the schedule will probably have to change because they'll probably want me to work in these nice daytime hours. But as far as the next time, it would be Friday. And I'm MST, so 2 p.m. MST is what I aim for. I created the event for Friday for the stream. So I don't know if Facebook or what platform is your preference, but you might be able to hit the notify or whatever they do for that sort of thing. But this Friday would be the next time. But I aim for Monday, Wednesday, Friday with, well, that potentially changing soon. Oh, hey, Radha. So yeah, we've got that deck and we're going to need this one. I didn't need to shuffle that. Dang it. I mean, it takes long enough for me to pick cards from their place. So I feel kind of bad for wasting time a bit. No problem. Spirit messages, current situationship. So that's what we're focusing on with this deck. I think that deck is just ready, so we'll just flip from those. Yeah, we'll just start with that. So, yeah, because we've got a certain number of cards and they're just on top, so they made it easy for me. We've got the Empress, and this is speaking to the first part of your question. So, your situationship, as you say, in your mind regarding Riche. You've got the Empress, Two of Wands, 10 of Pentacles, King of Chalices, Knight of Chalices, sorry, just making sure. I think that's it. Yeah, okay, I think we're good there. So Empress, lots of feminine energy going on there. Two of Wands, that has twos generally deal with choices, options. Wands tends to be on the more creative side. 10 of Pentacles, Pentacles is usually material. And 10, well, the 10 is the whole version of it. So security, financial security. King of Chalices is someone who's able to control their emotions and not necessarily like stifle them, but direct them toward good. And the Knight of Chalices, they're along for the ride. Some people talk about emotional whiplash, but so there's the ups and downs going on. And they're not trying to get rid of those. They're just trying to ride it. That's what's going on there. But we'll go through and read up on those just to get the in-depth. And that's on the situationship. Where are we? Prisma, the Empress. Nurturing, giving, connection with Earth. The Empress is a subtle ruler. Caught so often in the gray trivialities of our existence, we forget their inherent inauthenticity. The minutiae we build up around ourselves, our jobs, our status, our wealth, none of it is truly vital to our existence. All we need to survive is the bounty already provided to us by Mother Nature. Connect back to it. Revel in it. Take joy in the most basic pleasure, that of being alive. Yeah, I think that's just how to phrase that. I want to say synergize with your feminine side. I feel like there's a better way to phrase that, though. I mean, you could say get in touch, but I don't think you're necessarily out of touch. So it's, well, taking in more than you already are, I think. So that might be what's going on there. we've got 2 of Wands. Too far. Planning, looking ahead, clear mind. I think you got this in a previous reading. Divine inspiration without tangible manifestation is a beautiful dream. Careful planning is the stoic, immutable foundation of any newfound enterprise. Be level-headed and down to earth. Practice self-discipline and good sense. But never forget how anointed you felt when you drew the first bolt toward you. Your unique creativity and passion are about to serve a great purpose. Be you. By daring to show your truest self, you will attract the people you need toward you. So, I mean, there's all that stoic part about planning and whatnot. I think you've already gotten that message. Enchantress, I think you're just after Radha, if I remember right. We had some people say hi, but I don't think they asked questions. So I'm pretty sure you're next. But finishing with Radha. So yeah, there's that stoic planning and whatnot. You've gotten a lot of that before, I think, and that's still true. It's still touching on that. But I think the stronger part here is the daring to show your truest self. You will attract the people you need toward you. So be honestly yourself. Yeah. 10 of Pentacles. Full potential, financial abundance, achievement. Your hard work and dedication have reached their full potential. You have seen your endeavors blossom in full. Now you need only to harvest the fruits of your labors. They will be abundant for many years to come. Enjoy earthly comforts as they are richly deserved. This is not the time to begin earth-moving enterprises. Instead, focus on maintaining what you have already achieved. You have devoted yourself to the cultivation of the earth. Let her reward you in kind. So there's a kind of a karma. I mean, it's almost speaking to the relationship. You've been investing in this. I don't know that you're reaping the rewards yet, but, well, I mean, you know what you have in mind, so you can connect the dots a bit better, but that's, I'm guessing, the dots that we're getting at. King of Chalices. Not the Knight yet. Reigning emotions, powerful conduit, in control. The king is all about reining in the emotions, recognizing to their true power. He carves out channels for them to flow in advantageous, intentional ways. Shepherd of the roiling river, he is master of its destiny, and it lends its churning strength to his designs. By harnessing your emotions, you become lord of your own experience, directing the formless energy into hale, corporeal creation, which I think echoes a lot of what you've received previously. Yeah, as far as the Empress, that's what we got there. Knight of Chalices. Unfettered emotion, mixed feelings, devotion. Unfettered emotion is a powerful thing. Knowing no barriers, no powerful ends, it marauds on endlessly, deaf to diminishing voices. Cavalier devotion to matters of the heart can often lead to a swift dethroning. But at the apogee of your quixotic journey, have no fear of the imminent plunge. Mount your furiously swirling emotions and ride them to the end. So, probably with respect to that relationship, yeah, you've got your ups and downs, but it's a ride. Well, this says you are committed to, in a sense, and in a sense should commit to. Otherwise, we probably would have got different cards. So, that was spirit messages for my current situationship. in mind regarding Rish. Current feelings for you. Here we'll switch over to Destiny deck. We need that one. Now, where do the others come from? Off the bottom. Off the bottom. Yeah, okay. So we got 3 cards, and that's what we're going to flip. So, number 1, Wheel of Fortune. Number 2, The World. Number 3, 8 of Wands. So, I mean, Wheel of Fortune is an auspicious card. The World, there's completeness and a wholeness to it. 8 of Wands I'll have to double check, but that one has a flurry of communication associated with it. But let me go ahead, set this down, and we can pull up our guide. Wheel of Fortune reminds us that things around us are constantly in motion. Nothing is permanent, and we must give gratitude to the lessons we are gifted with. It also reminds us that anything is possible. There are chance meetings and unexpected life occurrences that may confront us suddenly. This card appears when as an auspicious sign that things will get better. They should have worded that better. Knowing that you have the ability, you must now listen to your intuition and manifest your wishes. Your intuitive powers are heightened now, and this is an opportunity to understand your role in the universe. So, yeah, I mean, for some reason I feel like this is optimistic from the bottom. Not that they've hit rock bottom necessarily, but they've got the feeling, the direction that it's going up. So, okay, moving on. We've got the World. Not that one. Oh, not that one either. Here we go. The final card in the Major Arcana that represents the end of a journey. This card is about completion, success, and fulfillment. This card is one of the most welcome cards in a reading. Your projects pay off, your hard work is rewarded, and a phase is coming to an end in a positive way. When the world shows up in your reading, you are reminded that you are exactly where the universe has intended for you to be on your path. The message that is being given is that a milestone or an important goal has been achieved. A cycle has come to a rewarding conclusion. Feel the joy as a new journey is awaiting you. The world is in continuous motion. Enjoy your success. So, I mean, both of these, there's the sense that they could be moving on, coming to a close with the World, the change with the Wheel of Fortune. But I'm not necessarily feeling that. So I'm leaning more towards milestone in the relationship. Which obviously doesn't feel like one right now with the separation basically. But that's the impression I get. Get the 8 of Wands. one of the most positive cards in this suit, along with the ace. It predicts a lot of communication in the form of emails, phone calls, and exciting offers. If you have felt held back by waiting for decisions, positive news will flow to you. Your creative ideas and endeavors have wings, and they are moving forward with comfort and ease. In relationships, this card can bring great news about love, especially if you have been separated from a partner recently, or if you are waiting to hear from one. There is a quick energy associated with this card, so whatever you are waiting for will come quickly. So, and this is his feelings towards you, so it's a different perspective, but yeah, I mean, positive feelings. And I think that Eight of Wands helped seal the deal. Like, there's nothing bad. I know this has been a period for you, but um, it's eventually going to end in a rush. Is kind of the impression I'm getting. Um, they decide to tip the scale, and it will all come, well, not tumbling down, because building a relationship is a different sort of thing, but I think you get my point. Oh, okay. Let me know if you've got it. Rada, let me know if we're good. I'm going to clean up. Enchantress, let me know what your question is, what the new one is. Okay. That is definitely a question we can do. Okay. Seems like Rada might have a poor connection. But, well, yeah, I would expect that if that's what you're experiencing from the guys. But yeah, I think Rada, we already hit it. So let's get on to. So I guess, is this really your question then, Enchantress? Because it almost sounds like your problem was with the girls. I mean, it's nice to get an explanation from the guys, but it's almost like, well, I'll let you explain a bit. Let me figure out what deck. I think we're doing the Lost Forest. Not usual for this, but if it's the right one, it's the right one. I guess I don't. else do we have? Okay, I think we've just got 3 cards. Oh, I guess it refreshed. Let me get our camera ready. Excellent. I'm glad it helps, Orwell. Wow. I'm glad it has that positive effect. Oh, we've got our camera. Okay, so for Enchantress. Oh, and it's small again. Make it bigger. Okay. Thank you. 7 of Skies. Interesting. The Mystic. And then, oh. Inverted 2 of Oceans. I don't usually do reversed cards, so give me a sec to make sure that that's really what's intended. Okay. Okay. Okay, so interesting set. 7 of Skies usually deals with deception, betrayal. I don't know if you can see it clearly in the picture, but it's a constellation forming a dagger. That's what's going on there. The Mystic has aspects of the Divine Feminine, but more so in tune with their inner wisdom or higher wisdom, however you phrase that. And then, well, yeah, that's what the moon is getting at. The circling fish, I mean, that's usually a harmonious partnership. So I don't know if maybe that's speaking to a rebel nature being inverted. We'll double check. But that's the quick and dirty of it. But we'll get into it. Just to make sure we didn't miss anything. And this guide just has keywords. So we'll just be hitting the highlights. But yeah, so deception, betrayal, subterfuge on the 7 of Skies. For the Mystic, hidden knowledge, intuition, the subconscious. And then 2 of Oceans, breakups, disharmony, distrust. So, interesting card as for why they get attracted to you, or well, interesting cards. Yeah. And the question is, what makes them attracted? So maybe it's because you're standing out. Like, I don't know where the betrayal and deception is coming from. In my experience, that's not human nature. But I don't know. Maybe in the social setting, somehow it seems like you've bucked them. Maybe it's that when that got away sort of thing. that they're trying to chase. Um, I mean, with the mystic, I sort of got a sense of wild wisdom. Um, so there's a truth to that, but yeah, they do. They are. I mean, the mystic, that's really not a bad one. Um, I mean, I got a wild sense to that, but um, yeah. So I don't know, like, I'm trying to figure out how it's connecting, and my best guess is that you're something of a rebel. Um, Not in like Star Wars sort of sense in the rebellion, but um, you're not part of the system, as the kids might say. So, and maybe that's the sort of exotic that they're finding attractive. So, um, talk to me. Does that make sense? Because yeah, I was not expecting cards like this for this reading. But touch base with me here. Check the beat. Like, is that right? Or are we just pulling cards for fun, basically? Okay. Um, well, I don't know what to do about the confusion. I've never betrayed or played anyone. Yeah, and you didn't strike me as that kind of person. So, like, I don't think that's your intent. Um, but you're asking what makes them attracted to you. That's how they're perceiving you in a sense. As for why, I don't know. I wouldn't expect you to exhibit those behaviors. Maybe the mystic. Um, but yeah, I mean, for some people, two of oceans, maybe. Maybe with like the breakups and disharmony, that might be a thing. That that doesn't seem like that doesn't seem like it. So yeah. Also, I mean, this was out of left field for me. So, do we need to follow up or check something else? Because we can do that. Otherwise, um, I'll clean up. So, um, well, should you keep on doing what? I mean, um, well, so I don't know what the behaviors are um, that are giving them this impression. Um, so that's off. And as far as should, um, frankly, I don't know. And I'm not sure you even know. Do you have an idea? because whatever it is, that's vague in what you're asking. Um, and what is that? Neon bright lights. I've got a question from Sabrina, but then yeah, I can do a reading for you. I mean, I wouldn't. You're not intentionally emitting this, so I wouldn't like. I wouldn't try to make it any more intentional. That's not a positive direction to go. As far as okay, if you do need to go to video, that's or leave. You can come back for the video later. Sorry, back to Enchantress. Yeah, I wouldn't incorporate that. That's what they're saying. Whether or not, I mean, should is a dangerous word because it implies a right or wrong. And I mean, as far as you or I can tell, you're just doing the natural thing. So, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Okay. Also, maybe because if you are coming across shy and mysterious, like you're kind of on the edge, kind of fringe in a way. So that can sort of be where we get the disharmony from Two of Oceans. Obviously, it connects with the Mystic. As far as that betrayal or deception, Seven of Skies, I'm not sure. Why would girls hate you? Well, I mean, if you're attracting guys that they want, then I mean that's kind of obvious, I would think. Whether they should or not, well, they probably shouldn't. So, so as far as, I guess, do you have a goal of getting girls to hate you less? But at the same time, I don't think that's the right framing. Because I mean, the way you're presenting it sounds like you're being true to yourself. In which case, I would recommend you continue being true to yourself. And girls might hate you for it, guys might love you for it, but what do you mean? One should put hate on you? Explain that. Oh, the issue with being happy is that other people want to be happy too, and they tend to be drawn towards happy people. So, isolation, like, I mean, it has its perks, but as a plan, is not a solid one to plan on. Hopefully that makes sense. Just want to make sure. Like, I guess, do we have more questions or do we get it? I guess. Okay. All right. If we got to the bottom of that, then good. And now I'm worried I need to go through this deck and fix the cards. Because reversed is not usual for me. So maybe that's why it had to be that one. I'll set this aside. Okay. And by all means, come back. I mean, there are plenty of questions in life. So, but yeah. Okay, moving on. Sabrina, what's next for me and my love? Ooh, different deck. Destiny, there it is. Okay. And let me do. Okay, so we've got Sabrina and then Neon Bright Lights. Okay. Excellent. No problem. Sorry it takes a while. What's next? More shuffling. There's probably a short-term and a long-term aspect. Well, maybe. I mean, sometimes we just miss one, but. And we need more shuffling. Okay. Some more. Okay. Not quite sure how this will lay out. I sort of got the idea of just one area for short term, one area for long term. For some reason, that one doesn't get to be on the map. But we'll see. Because sometimes I plan on short term and long term, and then there's just short term. So. Okay. I've got one card. It doesn't feel like short-term, long-term. And I'm not sure if this is just what needs to go first before we get into it or what. Um, but let's just go ahead and figure out what this is. Ace of Cups, beginnings, love. So, I mean, that's gotta be positive for a relationship. Is that all there is to say? Is that all you get to know for now? Let me go ahead and share this because this has a digital guide. So, the Ace of Cups, which is represented by a hand holding an overflowing chalice, gives forth an endless stream of water for healing of the body, soul, and heart. The chalice is offered with the right hand, the hand of giving, as opposed to the left hand, which is the hand of receiving. This card represents a heart that is open. The Ace of Cups suggests a new partnership that is of importance, good news, or exciting new beginnings. Generally, this is a sign of a fresh start in love, relationships, the birth of a child, or creative project, and work-related abundance. So, I mean, there's sort of a wholeness in the healing that happens there. I'm not sure where the a heart that is open, that's a positive sign, but then I don't know if I guess I don't know the relationship of you and your love, whether they would count as the new partnership or if this is saying you're going to be somewhere else. So why, Siri, are you trying to do something? Generally, this is a sign of a fresh start in love relationships. If you're married, then I would lean towards birth of a child, but I'm guessing that's not the case. Or maybe it is. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, the fresh start in love relationship seems like the more likely thing. So Sabrina, my best guess as far as how to interpret this, it sounds like there's going to be a new love. That's so I don't know what your current, I don't know who you're talking about with the my love, but best guess with what I'm trying to connect here, it's not that person that you're going to be with. And then, well, yeah, I would say that's relatively near future. Yeah. So I don't know. If you want to add details, get clarity, let me know. Because that didn't turn out how I think you or I expected it to. I'm going to go ahead and shuffle the cards. It's because it's on video, so we already know what it is. Okay. Sorry you had to wait, and I'm sorry that was relatively brief in comparison. If If it's true, it's the truth. So, okay. Take care. Um, don't overdo it by any means, but yeah, that's what we got. So then we've got neon bright lights. All messages. Yes. Um, hey. So we've got your question. We'll probably use Destiny Deck for this as well. Or, well, we are. It is my usual deck for this stuff. Okay. Love messages for me. Okay. Yeah, so Sabrina got the Ace of Cups, which suggests a new person, a new romantic interest, romantic relationship, probably. But yeah, she only said so much, so we'll let her keep her privacy. But it seems to be in touch. Seems to be in tune. Let me set that down. Messages for me. I'll double check that. But I think we got a duo. Okay. Let's not be too loud. Set that down. Okay. Yeah, okay. So let me get our camera ready. We got 3 cards. 1 and then a pair. Oh, come on. We need, yeah, that camera. Okay, so that's showing what we need The other side. Oh. I'm not seeing it on the camera itself, but it looks like the video is going through, so we'll go ahead. Okay. So our solo, our duo, and we'll flip. So these are cards related, and they're equals. So we've got 8 of Cups there. Departure and Change are the notes on that. We got Goddess Joya, that's unique to this deck, as well as 8 of Wands. We saw that earlier, but we'll go over that again as well. So those are our cards, and now I'll set this down and we'll pull it up our guide. So start with 8 of Cups, since that one's standalone. Reveals a time of restlessness, as though something is missing. You may be going through a transition, even though things may appear harmonious to the observer. You may need to walk away from a situation or a person. It may be time to move on and leave something that no longer gives you fulfillment. This should not be a hasty decision. Only break away when you are sure there is nothing more you can contribute. Although you may feel sadness, it is the right time to let go. You will soon feel re-energized and move towards your soul's calling. So, basically take your deep breath a few times. Obviously, that'll scale to your life, but yeah. And it's time for a change. And then let's do Goddess Joya. So this is 1. Let me just do Joya. That'll be better. No, the couch is not better. There we go. Life Path 22 is a card that symbolizes the Master Manifester, or the Master Builder. When you receive this card in a reading, the message is clear that in whatever you are working on, you must be an inspirational presence. This card is very powerful in a reading because it talks about your impact in whatever you are seeking. This card shows up to remind you that you have an enhanced ability to apply your spiritual understanding to your life. You are a visionary. You will have the ability to make it happen, to turn the dreams into a reality, and to build whatever structures are necessary to create the success you are striving for. So very much you can make it happen. Also, you make it happen, in a sense. You do have an active role in the manifesting and the building. And this is paired with 8 of Wands. One of the most positive cards, along with the Ace. It predicts a lot of communication in the form of emails, phone calls, and exciting offers. If you have felt held back by waiting for decisions, positive news will flow to you. Your creative ideas and endeavors have wings, and they are moving forward with comfort and ease. In relationships, this card can bring great news about love, especially if you've been separated from a partner recently, or if you are waiting to hear from one. There is a quick energy associated with this card, so whatever you are waiting for will come quickly. So yeah, I mean, sounds like with that visionary Joya, that ability to manifest and whatnot, once you do focus in on that, hone in on that, it'll start happening, and quickly. But I'm pretty sure that 8 of Cups happens first. That take a breath, take a moment, make sure you're done, and then walk away. So that needs to happen first. But then, yeah, after that, it's having your vision and then making it happen. And it will. So yeah, that was that reading. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up these cards. I mean, yeah, I think you could get reconciliation. I don't know where that falls in the scheme of things. The deep breath comes first. But yeah, it could very much be a reconciliation. And it's probably you being like, hey, I want this to happen. Let's make it happen. That's oversimplifying, but yeah, I don't see why reconciliation would be excluded from that. So, no problem. Okay. I know we had more people than we did readings for. I think we're caught up. I think we had a number of Facebook people that said hi, but I don't think we got questions. So I definitely need a break because we've been going for a while. But yeah, I am for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, same time. So 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I am looking for a job, so that will change in the future. So bear that in mind. But for the very near future, at least, that's the case. That's when we're streaming. So if you've got questions or if you come up with questions, we can address them then. I did finally register as a business, so once I can sort out bank stuff and then Etsy and whatnot, I'll set up offerings there. And then if you want something more private or just don't want to compete for the free ones, that'll be an option. I'll let you guys know more when that does happen, but that's on the way. So just gotta juggle multiple things. So, but yeah, glad you guys could stop by. And until next time, take care.